We're recording. Okay. Let's do this. We haven't done a sound for video session for a while. So I took a little bit of a break, had some just stressed. It was no big problems, just lots of little things that I needed to do. So we're getting past that and we're coming back at you with lots of good things to talk about and do. So I've always wondered if I could record in a car and get a reasonable recording without too much noise. Now, this is a little bit of a special case, I guess, in some ways, but for 17 years, my wife and I have had this Toyota RAV4. That's been my primary car the last few years. And it's noisy as all get out inside of the car. So we recently purchased a Tesla Model 3 now, electric car, so very little engine noise. And this is what it sounds like. Now I'm using an interesting set of things. So the GoPro is recording the visuals, and then I'm using a RODELink wireless filmmaker kit that's going into the CEntrance R4R, which is a little mixer recorder that we'll do a review on here pretty soon. And then for the microphone, instead of the included Rode lavalier microphone, I'm using a MicJ headset microphone. And the benefit of that is it's closer to my mouth, and as I turn while I'm driving, for example, then the microphone follows my mouth. So we just wanted to get a sense for how this sounds. I'm on just a small road or a country road now, going 32 miles per hour, so not really fast. In a minute here, we'll be getting on an interstate, and we'll be going 65, 70 miles an hour. So we'll get a sense how that sounds there. The light's probably not great. It's pretty early in the morning still, and we're moving into winter time when the sun gets up a little later. Also, in terms of the heating and cooling here, I do have it turned on, but it's on its low setting, so there shouldn't be a ton of fan noise. I think you're going to hear road noise more than you're going to hear the fan for the HVAC system. I guess just an explanation. Part of the reason I needed to take a break, I made a mistake. I agreed with too many manufacturers to review gear, and I have a huge pile of things to review, and frankly, that stresses me out. Not because I don't like doing reviews, but just because I feel like I have all these commitments and it feels like there's no way to get out of them. In addition to that, I'm also working on some voiceover work, so I have several things that I owe there as well. So I've just felt overwhelmed is basically what it comes down to. And I think we're now at the mindset where it's just, okay, we're going to start tackling these things one at a time. Some of the manufacturers are not going to be really happy because I ended up taking that 3-week break just for my own sanity. But we're going to do what we can do. So here we are getting on the interstate now. I'm going to accelerate, so it'll be just a second here. Okay, we're now 65 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. I'm going to slow it to 65. We're going to go through some kind of curves up here. Just set it on cruise. Okay. So in terms of things that we have in the queue, there are several things that are sound related. I'll just cover those here. We do have some non-sound related things as well. Some gimbals. We have the Moza Air 2. Actually, like I said, I'm not going to mention those right now. Sound-wise, we have the Sony ECM 674 shotgun microphone. It's a mid-range, in terms of price, microphone. And we've done a little bit of testing with it so far, and so far it looks really good. It's about the $300 US, so it's a reasonable price for an independent filmmaker who's willing to save up some money and invest in sound gear. And that one's looking pretty promising, so we'll do that. We also have the Centrance. I had mentioned this in the video where we talked about we're taking a 3-week break. This was just actually announced. It's a recorder mixer, and you could use it as a preamp for feeding audio to your camera, or you could use it to actually do your recording in lieu of something like a Zoom H5. What I know about it so far is this is being recorded with it, so you can get a sense for its sound quality, roughly. again, we've got so much ambient noise, it's really hard to do a critical test of things like that. We're getting a pretty good signal here with the RODELink, so it would work great for situations like that. So anyway, that's cool, and it's really robust in terms of its build. It's kind of cool. It's the kind of gear I like from the standpoint that it's all metal construction. It's kind of simple. It doesn't have a screen, so you don't, you have to kind of know how to use it, but it comes with a couple of like laminated quick reference charts that show you how to do everything, like formatting a card. How do you do that when you don't have a screen? As that car passes, we'll let them go. They'll probably think I'm crazy talking to myself in here. Two things there. Deity VMic D3 Pro. Hope I said that right. We have one of those in the house now, and I have used that actually on one of my previous episodes. It was an episode where we talked about 3 lights. I actually used it in my car while it was parked, and that's what I recorded all the voiceover with. So that mic actually sounds quite good. I'll be interested to see what it sounds like outside of a car. Cars have a tendency to sound kind of boxy. So in any case, that's coming up as well. What else on the sound front? I do have a new audio interface. I'll be honest, I got frustrated. I have had a high-end audio interface for a number of years now. It was the Antelope Audio Orion Studio, and it was a Thunderbolt 2 audio interface connected to my Mac. It could also do USB, but it never worked well with USB. And the frustration I experienced there was the hardware is great, but the software was awful, and getting support didn't work. And ever since I got my iMac Pro, I haven't been able to get this thing to work reliably. It always, like just playing back sound from the computer, there was all this static. It was almost like there's some sort of sample rate conversion issue. So I worked with them. I would spend hours and hours on the phone with them trying to get it working. And they got it working, but never got rid of all the static issues. And you can't critically monitor when you've got garbage like that coming through the speakers. So I gave it to a friend who is a musician and works with PCs, so maybe he'll be able to get something out of it. I'm hoping so. And what I got instead was Universal Audio just came out with their new Apollo X line of audio interfaces, and I got the 6X, which is the smallest one. I think it's the smallest one. But it's the nice thing about Universal Audio is my brother Kerry has used Universal Audio Apollo interface for almost as long as they've been out, I think. So several years, 5 years or something like that, maybe 6 years. And he's had a really good experience with it in terms of them updating the drivers, keeping things working, working with the new operating systems shortly after they come out, things of that nature. So that's cool. And the nice thing about this new version is that it will be capable. Actually, the software doesn't support it yet, but will soon. Is you can actually do a full 5.1 surround monitor. That's looking pretty cool. I don't know that I'll do a full review on that. I don't know if that really fits the audience. If you guys are interested, let me know. We'll take a look at it. But it's a pretty pricey piece of gear. I think that one was $2,000, maybe $2,500. So it's not the type of audio interface that most people buy unless you're professionally mixing and stuff of that nature. So, okay, what else do we have on the audio gear front? I think that's it on the audio gear front. So, and this, of course, this microphone here, the headset mic from MicJ. So, this is interesting because it's inexpensive. It's $29 US for this microphone. Is it the most amazing sounding microphone in the world? No. But if you're going to be in noisy situations, it might actually be a really good choice if it's okay in your particular piece to have the mic showing.